Hello friends, a long time ago in a mountainous region of India, there lived a huge male tiger. He was known for his ferocious attacks on humans and animals alike. People were afraid of him, but he didn't care because he was strong and powerful. And besides, life is tough. If you don't stand up for yourself, no one else will. But one day, our hero decided to take a break from all that chaos. After all, life is too short to always be angry. So the tiger went deep into the forest to relax and enjoy the peace and quiet. And then he saw a wonderful clearing. The sun was shining through the leaves, birds were singing merrily, and a beautiful doe was grazing nearby. She looked so peaceful and serene. The tiger couldn't stand it anymore. He wanted to join her, to feel this calmness and serenity himself. However, the tiger didn't know that this place belonged to the mountain goats, and they weren't going to let some outsider walk right in. So the brave mountain goats gathered in a group and headed straight for the dangerous predator. They didn't want to fight, but they were ready to defend their home. Meanwhile, the deer hadn't noticed the tiger yet. She was busy looking for food. She didn't hear the rustle of leaves, the snap of twigs, or the sound of heavy footsteps behind her. If she had known what was going on, she probably wouldn't have been so carefree. But she didn't know, and continued grazing peacefully. And the tiger kept watching her. His heart pounded like a drum. Every muscle tensed, ready to pounce. The predator crouched low, almost invisible among the tall grasses. He wanted to get closer, to surprise his prey and make sure of his advantage. The tiger waited patiently, sometimes twitching his whiskers or swishing his tail, but mostly remaining still. And suddenly, the moment he had been waiting for finally arrived. The deer raised her head, sniffing the air. She took a few steps back, ears perked up, as if sensing danger. And that was exactly what the tiger was hoping for. He knew that his prey had finally realized what was going on. That was his moment. He burst out of his hiding spot, fangs bared, claws extended. The tiger attacked swiftly and powerfully. He had hunted many times before, but never had it been so exciting. The chase lasted only a few seconds. The deer tried to run, but the tiger was faster. She tried to hide, but he could sniff her out. This was going to be an easy meal for him. The tiger pinned the deer to the ground, burying his muzzle in her fur. He felt her heart beating under his paws. She struggled, but he held on tight. Yet at that very moment, something unexpected happened. The deer let out a loud bark, as if calling for help. And then from somewhere far away, another bark echoed in response. Was someone coming to save the fawn? Why did the deer call for help? Was she trying to trick the tiger? Our hero had no way of knowing, but he wasn't about to take any chances. Just as the tiger was about to make his final move, he heard the sound of heavy footsteps approaching fast. Someone was running towards them. Who could it be? The tiger froze. Could someone be coming to rescue the deer? No one dared to mess with him. Whoever was coming had to be really brave. Cautiously, the tiger lifted his head, ears pricked, trying to figure out what was going on. The footsteps got louder and faster. The tiger's eyes narrowed. It was a deer. It ran towards them, snorting and pawing the ground. But this deer was larger than the one on the ground. This must have been the mother of the fawn. She stopped just a few steps away from the tiger, glaring at him with eyes full of anger and fear. The tiger let out a warning growl, showing his fangs. He knew that if he let the deer go now, she would definitely call for reinforcements and soon a whole herd would be upon him. Plus, he already had a good bite on the fawn's neck. So why let her go? With a quick flick of his tail, the tiger showed that he wasn't afraid and he wasn't planning on giving up his dinner. The mother deer hesitated for a moment, then let out a loud bark and started backing away. She knew she couldn't win against such a strong opponent. She needed to call for help. As soon as the mother deer disappeared into the bushes, the tiger let out a triumphant roar. He thought he'd won, but he was wrong. His troubles were just beginning. He was used to chasing and catching prey, but this deer was putting up quite a fight. Perhaps she was too young and inexperienced. Perhaps she had nothing left to lose. But the little deer kept struggling, trying to free herself from the tiger's clutches. The tiger was surprised. He had never encountered such tenacious prey. He bit down on her leg harder, trying to make her stop resisting, but the deer just barked furiously, as if daring him to do it. To top it all off, she kept saying things like, "You won't get away with this, you bully," which made the tiger even angrier. He thought, well, that's it. I'm done with this game. Let's finish it quickly. With these thoughts in mind, the tiger tightened his grip and dragged the deer away. He was going to take her to his cave and eat her in peace. The tiger was confident in his victory, but he didn't realize that the deer had a plan. As the tiger dragged her deeper into the forest, she kept glancing around, searching for the right moment to escape. Suddenly, she spotted a stream nearby. The tiger, focused on his prey, didn't notice this. When the deer sensed her chance had come, she put all her strength into a final push, throwing the tiger off balance and knocking him over. The tiger tumbled onto the ground, paws flailing in the air. The deer took advantage of the situation, jumped up and bolted towards the stream. She didn't have much time left. She could hear the tiger getting back on his feet and roaring with anger. When the deer reached the stream, she didn't hesitate. She jumped right in. The water was cold, but the deer didn't care. She swam to the other side as fast as she could. The tiger hesitated on the bank. He knew that he couldn't swim well. He wasn't sure if he should jump into the water after her. The deer had already disappeared from sight, and the tiger was left alone on the bank. He paced back and forth, torn between his desire to catch his prey and the uncertainty of what awaited him in the water. Finally, he decided that it wasn't worth the risk. He would rather find another meal than get all wet. The tiger shook himself, realizing that it wasn't worth the effort. He would have to find another meal. As the tiger walked away, the deer came out of her hiding spot. She had made it. She had outsmarted the tiger and saved herself. But she knew that this wasn't the end. The tiger would keep looking for her, and sooner or later he would try again. The deer stayed in the area for a while longer, keeping an eye out for the tiger. When she finally decided to go home, she noticed that it was already dark. The sky was filled with stars and the moon was high overhead. The deer had been gone for a long time, and her family must have been worried. As she ran through the forest, she could hear the sounds of her family calling out to her. She picked up her pace, and soon she was reunited with her loved ones. They were so happy to see her. The deer told them everything that had happened, and they were amazed at her bravery. From that day on, the deer was a hero. All the animals in the forest admired her courage and intelligence, and the tiger learned a valuable lesson. He realized that you shouldn't judge your prey by their size. Sometimes the smallest creatures can be the smartest and most cunning. This story teaches us to never give up hope. Even when things seem really tough, we should always keep trying to improve our situation. We should also learn to respect other creatures and not underestimate them. Just because something is small doesn't mean it's weak. Sometimes it's the other way around. Friends, do you think the tiger will ever dare to attack the deer again? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this story, hit the like button and subscribe for more amazing adventures. See you next time.